realized that you can like install the Streamlabs deck on your phone and like remotely start the stream. So, but I wasn't like 100% convinced that it would work. So I kind of went and pressed it early and now I'm just awkwardly waiting here for a couple of minutes. Yeah, so we are live. This is Brigador. What is Brigador? Well, Brigador is an isometric 2D action game where you can play with a variety of mechs, tanks and anti-gravity flyers from 3 different factions. The plot of the game goes something like this. There is a planet called Nova Solo and in it is a city-state called Solo Nobre. Solo Nobre has been led by this dude called the Great Leader for a good while now. The Great Leader gained power through a revolt against the Solo Nobre concern which established the mining colony. Now the Great Leader is dead and Solo Nobre concern wants its property back. You are a Brigador, which is a kind of a mercenary hired from one of the 3 factions involved in the conflict following the death of the Great Leader. And your mission is to do various mission objectives of Solo Nobre concern in exchange for money. Right, this game has a campaign and something called freelance modes, and how they work isn't perhaps like imminently obvious. Campaign has kind of like, it has a really extensive tutorial section which is kind of needed because the way the game controls isn't perhaps the most intuitive. All the 3 different vehicle classes kind of control differently, and this game is really a thing of its own. Like if you're a real boomer and you've ever like played Desert Strike or like Future Cop LAPD, like those type of like isometric 2D action games, then this might be a bit more familiar. But if you haven't, I've like played Desert Strike as a kid, then this is gonna take a bit to get used to. So how the campaign works, you have several sets of missions, and like completing one mission doesn't just unnecessarily unlock the next one, it can open like several new ones, which is good, because there is a really freaking terrible, annoying and hard mission I've been stuck on, which I haven't been trying for a while, for the sake of my blood pressure. But I was thinking that I could show off a bit of the campaign and then I'll show the freelance mode, which I think is perhaps a bit more fun. Anyway, with the campaign missions, you have the option to pick from several pre-made loadouts. These are sometimes really weird, like really weird, like something I wouldn't ever make in this game. And they like generally, but not always, have like a mech, a tank, and like an anti-gravity flyer. This is like the first mission of the campaign proper. I've completed it once with this Zolik mech, piloted by this goth girlfriend type of lady. So how about we try it with a tank? Also get like a small bit of like lore and kind of an objective of the mission before you deploy. So yeah, let's roll. It still has some instructions in it, but I'm already familiar with this stuff. But tanks have this ability where if you hold the space bar, they like do what's called a blue rush. They move faster and they break through objects better. Everything else except like these really high gray walls which are like past the limits of the stage. So you can break a lot of stuff and you get a small cash bonus for it. This game, you actually do get money for also like killing civilians, because otherwise the Solo Nobre concern that once their mining planet back doesn't care about the people or the infrastructure, they just like want the minerals back. So here we are, just cruising around in our big tank, armed with a stealth field, which is like not a part of the tank per se, but it's like a very accessible sort of like a special thing for the freelance mode. And the best match for this kind of stuff, I feel, of the campaign, vehicles are all right. There's like some which are sensible and like after I've been playing the freelance mode, a lot of them are just like if you like first impact of this game is like playing this really good dual change gun mech. Maybe it doesn't leave such a good impression. This game has a kind of not great reception, because people weren't really used to these type of games anymore. They found the controls which were back then at default like these tank controls, which actually make a lot of sense in a game where you like drive around in literal things. But people found them out alienating. Also, I think there's a campaign structure is necessarily in the game. It's not like it's horrible, but it's just basically a collective mission where you drive around in these kind of unusual ways. Characters that change themselves. So it's not the best, I'd say. It's not horrible, but the freelance mode I think is a lot of fun. I think what the campaign mode is best for is kind of like once you play enough of the freelance mode, you get into this kind of comfort zone. You have like your favorite guns and vehicles, and then if you're feeling like you're stuck rolling with the same stuff every mission, you can just load the campaign and like pick the most absurd artillery motorcycle. The campaign offers you and roll with that. And missions have objectives marked by those new big emblems. Campaign missions have varying mix of objectives, which are like, yeah, go kill this leader, go destroy this particle vehicle, or go destroy these buildings, or go destroy these orbital guns, which are like these, well, very, very, very big artillery pieces. Which, like, lore-wise, the reason why the Solo Nobre concern isn't just sending out an entire army is that the orbital guns would just absolutely shoot them down. So they have kind of this strategy of sending like small detachments secretly and like bribing and manipulating people who are citizens of Solo Nobre into their service. And in freelance mode, when you like read some of the pilot profiles, there are occasionally like these psychological profiles of, okay, this guy has done this kind of stuff, here's how we can manipulate him into being a mech pilot for us, which is really interesting. So you're most definitely not playing the good guys here, but neither is really anyone else. Anyway, that was a pretty rudimentary campaign mission. Let's see if anyone's turned up to the chat. Turn up your volume a bit. I might actually turn down the music a bit. I think it's like... Hang on. I feel like the music is, for whatever reason, it's like... The soundtrack is really excellent, but it's also like... it's really loud by default. I hope this is better. Anyway, let's play a couple of more these campaign missions. I'm also gonna try this really annoying mission to see if I can go through it. But yeah, let's see what we have. Oh, we have these the same stuff as the previous one. Well, I'll show you this flying car. I also have, when I was playing Prey, my gamer fuel of choice was water, but now I have bomb mech, which is left over from weekend. I ordered some kebab on Sunday, and I also ordered this bottle of bomb mech, but I didn't feel like drinking it after all, so yeah, now is the perfect opportunity to suck down some carbohydrates. Isolationistic, authoritarian, militaristic, kind of maybe vaguely left-wing populist government. Big South American vibes, with all the names which are in Portuguese. So not all that great either. And the third faction are like the biggest bastards of them all. They're called Spacers. And they are like, if you know Warhammer 40k lore, and you know what the Eldar were before, like the Fall and how they created Slanes, the Spacers are like that, but they do not. They're like absolute assholes. They only come to planets to like terrorize people for fun, or if they like need to flex or intimidate like some faction with them, start trouble with them. They're like super advanced. Really big, scary mechs, big, scary anti-gravity stuff, just all these tanks. I like how their gear plays, but as people they are extremely unpleasant. Anyway, the thing we are flying with is a piece of Corvette Rebel here. It's just basically a car with an we have like several vehicles which have kind of the same similar approach, or like they're also like different types of cars with anti-gravity engines built in them. I like them, they play kind of nicely and they look cool. The Corvettes have the aesthetics of this game are a theme of their own. There's a lot of like stuff which is really ugly, not in the sense that they would be poorly made or rendered, but they're like, one of the vehicles looks like, if you think of like those World War II heavy tanks which had like these huge turrets which weren't very aesthetic, it's like just that kind of a huge tank turret but it has an anti-gravity engine on it. It's like absolutely hideous. The Spacers are like absolutely bizarre, really asymmetric like tanks, tank designs and anti-gravity vehicle designs. The Corvettes have stuff which is like just 7 cars bolted together on top of a train. really ugly as hell. So finding a vehicle which plays nice and looks nice, but at least to my aesthetic senses, has been a bit of a challenge. Of course, it's also fun to roll around in something that's just absolutely like hideous looking. Like, once again, I think the designs are really creative and cool and well done, but they're also like, I would not buy them for myself. Very creative stuff. Some have said they're a bit similar to like some, I don't know if it's what exactly it is, like a line of miniatures, collectible miniatures, or like the machine and figure, but I don't know anything of that. Supposedly, like, there's a couple of things inspired by it. Or maybe I should research that. I have one friend who's really into big tanks, and I hope he turns up to the stream. I think he would enjoy this event. Yeah, that was a orbital weapon. Brings in some extra cash, and the objective of this mission is to destroy a couple marked enemy units and then escape with this like orbital vehicle. I think maybe it would be smart to shoot down the orbital guns before we make our escape. I haven't shown this yet. This character has like an EMP grenade which disables vehicles and certain electronics in the field for a while. Actually pretty large radius. It doesn't communicate super well with the last radius. It's rather than the small buff that the grenade makes upon impact. Anyway, that's the mission complete. Now we find not a yellow submarine, but a yellow space dog, and then we make our escape. I think I show like maybe 2 or 3 more campaign missions, and then we'll go to 3 months more round of just getting absolutely crazy. Yeah. You're still pretty hard to make out, really hard actually. I wonder what the hell is up with that. Hang on, I'm gonna feed. I'm kind of afraid that sort of afraid that for some reason that I bought a web camera, and I'm concerned that like instead of taking the audio from the microphone, it's instead taking the audio from the microphone of the camera. I can't really hear myself here, so let's see. Okay. Well, I don't know. I've like turned up the mix aux, it's like almost clipping, so if you're not hearing me by now, I think there's something like wrong, but let's hope things will settle out and maybe explosions speak louder than words. Let's see. What we got here? Yeah. This is the secondary weapon isn't what I would roll with, but this is a viable. This is pretty nice. This basically just plays like a walking main battle tank. Also, let me know in the chat if you can hear me any better. Maybe if I just get closer. It's really annoying because earlier today I was doing some music stuff and the webcam was plugged in, and like it messed up with my audio interface really badly, because I just couldn't find a freaking webcam that didn't have like a built-in microphone in it, even if I don't like need one. And they're all, of course, like always, yeah, high quality integrated microphone, and then they're always like absolute freaking garbage, because you can't make a good microphone with like, well, you know how, oh no, that's oh man, that's not good. Damn, I had forgotten this like hits you over the head with like 2 of those freaking things. They're called tree houses, and yeah, they are not easy to deal with. They're very tough, big piles of junk. I've taken a fair bit of hull damage. I wasn't really paying attention because I was like too busy ranting about microphones. I think we're not gonna make it. Oh boy, yeah, we're not gonna make it. Yeah, this is not how you play Brigador. You really need to have your brain switch on while playing the game and not to make too much noise and drawing everyone in at the same time. That's better. Okay, well, good. Let's try it again and not be an idiot. Anyway, yeah. I really hate this whole integrated USB audio thing, which you can't then like configure yourself. Like, maybe it's just my background in music, but like I would like a setup where I don't have to like constantly plug or unplug something out of my setup. Anyway, as you could perhaps see from the other chaos that was going on, this game can get hard, and this isn't even all that hard of a mission yet. Come on, fuck you. Sorry, I don't know. All my friends know that I swear like shit, but yeah, I hate small little shits in this game. They are so hard to hit sometimes. And we need to kind of skedaddle because we're making a lot of noise. Enemies in this game react to noise. The last thing you want to do is like to draw every single enemy on the map to a single position, like making too much noise. So even if you are walking around with like, I don't know, 500-ton walking war crime, you really don't want to just go in recklessly. Unless you like really hate yourself, you hate life, you want to suffer, you want to experience the pain, then I mean forward assaults are just perfectly viable way to just get yourself destroyed in this game. Anyway, you can loot ammunition and like extra shield energy from the field, but what you can do is like repair your hull, which is like the green part of the health bar. So that doesn't have such a huge impact in the campaign, because like after a mission everything is replenished. But in the freelance mode, once you get advanced, you get to play like these sequences of missions back to back, and all hull damage you do, it doesn't come back between missions. So if you screw up and end up near dead in one mission, you're gonna have a bad time. You can like prematurely exit the freelance missions, but it requires you to clear a spaceport level, which can be like if you have just a, I don't know, 10% of your health left, you are gonna have a very bad time. So in some ways the freelance missions play more like a campaign, and this campaign plays more like I don't know, a selection of missions where you get to play mostly with loadouts that are frankly kind of weird. Anyway, here's a big collection of enemy forces. I think I'm gonna try to take them out. First we lay out some smoke. Well, this isn't going too well already. But yeah, that was a perfect example of the Corvid design philosophy, which is just let's put chunk atop of chunk and that's it. Ammo depots explode. That can be very helpful, that can be very harmful depending if you are next to them when they go up or if enemies are next to them when they go up. And we are taking hull damage again. Oh, this is not going too well. Oof. Fucking hell. I remembered most of the campaign missions being like rather easy, but apparently not. Yeah, we are so dead. Like, I think the objective of this was to like destroy 4 statues, so maybe I should have just like tried to focus on that and yeet out immediately afterwards, but I kind of got too involved in the whole wreck everything part. So let's see if I can take down the statues and escape with my life intact, or if I can't, well, might move on, might try once again with more focus on the objectives. Anyways, those really big chunk piles are not something you see in the freelance mode until like you reach very high difficulties, so I had forgotten all about them, and I was just very surprised to see them out at this point of the game. Generally the Corvids don't have like a lot of big stuff, they have like billion repurposed motorcycles and tractors coming at you, and they just... Oh man, yeah. Hitting small targets in this game can be really hard. The aiming is... I don't know if it's like buggy or if I have too small brain for it, but like you have those 2 lines of fire and the ammo goes along it, and since this is like 2D, trying to kind of simulate a 3D environment, sometimes it feels like if you are shooting from a high platform, from like a really high mech like this is, or a flyer, sometimes it feels like stuff just misses when it should hit. Like, if you want to have a really bad time in this game, roll with an anti-gravity vehicle, put a railgun on it and try to hit your targets with it. And yeah, I wonder where the heck the rest of the statues are. Yeah, I've played through this mission once, and with the really big spacer mech with 2 murder lasers, which, I don't know, kind of maybe trivialized this experience a bit. Yeah, this guy here, he's having a bad time. He's like, bro, I'm straight up having a bad time. Yeah, I think I should have like focused more on taking down the statues and less on picking fight with everything I see. But well, lesson learned. Only one structure left. If we can make it, that'd be great. So I would need to restart this. Yeah, maybe you kind of saw, but one of the bullets from the burst just like kind of passed clean, or at least looked like it passed clean through the target. I swear I freaking saw the one statue somewhere here. Like it wasn't that far away, like it's there. Can we make the shot? Well, I guess we could, but we are not. We have to beg. Okay, I'm dead. I'm cornered and I'm dead. Yeah, I'm trying this once more and with more like... Gonna try this once more with more focus on the objectives. I don't know how I liked the last time. I think I passed this on the first try, but maybe I was just like... My brain has been rotted by the freelance mode where you have like multiple objectives and trying to kill everything on the level is like good for you. But yeah, getting cornered is the #1 cause of death in this game, and some of the vehicles are in this kind of death valley where they are not big enough to just walk through obstacles with ease and not just like fast and small enough to evade them with ease. So you have this kind of a situation where you get stuck on walls and you end up having a bad time. Like damn, this is not going super well. I think the big mech may have had like the invisibility cloak, which is obviously really good for this. The smoke is, it's not bad, but it's like much more situational and harder to use. And this thing isn't quite fast enough to like outrun anything. There's so many enemies that it's really risky to try to go and loot stuff from enemies. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking dead once again. Yeah, the campaign can get tricky. I think after this I'm gonna show the mission where I've been stuck in, because it's like... I love the game, but man does it sometimes have some bullshit in the campaign, and that one mission is in particular is just that. Yeah, I'm not having a pro gamer moment here. Don't think I can pull this off, boys. Oh man, and I almost blew myself up there. Yeah, this is embarrassing. Good thing I'm so shameless. Yeah, 2 out of 4 structures. And the structures share an objective marker with like these high rank enemies, so you don't immediately know if you're walking like into a, I don't know, if you're walking to a really high level enemy or at the objective. Once again, there would be one statue left, but it's like neck deep in enemy territory. Like, one thing I could theoretically do would be like try to lure them enemies away by blowing up those cannons, and they make a lot of noise, but the problem is this 500-ton mech isn't terribly suited for sneaking around, so if I alert the enemies they tend to spot me too. Like if I could just land one good fucking hit to that statue and run, that would be it, but I have like so little shields and hull that I think it's really unlikely I'll make it. Also my cannon is completely dry of ammo. I don't think there's any way I'm gonna be able to replenish ammo here. Like, can I just fucking do this? Yeah, maybe I can. If I can make the escape, that will be it. Okay, yeah, I actually made it. Damn. Well. Well, I did not expect that, but alright. I think I'm gonna just show the aptly named Joy Bus Hell Ride. What we have here is just endless suffering. We start, all the like vehicle choices are like these fast little shits. You start the mission without your special ability, no ammo for your weapons, and you immediately face off these suicide bomb torpedoes. Their thing is, any vehicle in the game, they will insta-kill upon hit. So I guess like the big brain plan here is like you have this really big enemy here, which I think you're supposed to like to bait them into the line of fire of that enemy. Then you are supposed to go to the other area, which is also chock full of those suicide bomb torpedoes. There's like ammo replenish stations here. You're supposed to evade the torpedoes, get ammunition, go back and kill the really big target. You have really fucking weird ammo loadouts, weapon loadouts. You are like not at all kitted out to do this mission, and this is just like in the middle of it all. But I mean, so far so good. For whatever reason the suicide bombs didn't follow me here until now. I might actually be able to fucking pull this one off this time around. Not gonna cheer to yet, because like I've died a lot here. I'm not really sure if I should even bother with the bombs. I just like to hurt them to a single place where they wouldn't fucking bother me and make my life miserable. But if I kill them all, I don't know if I have the ammo to achieve like the mission objective. So yeah, those suicide torpedoes, they're like canonically starship torpedoes, which are repurposed as like these suicide bomb drones. No people inside, so I don't know if that is an apt term, but you get the idea. So there's like a couple of shooty things you could theoretically bait them into. Like I've managed to do it like, I don't know, a couple of times, but it's not easy. Let's just say that. And yeah, now I would really have to start focusing on taking down the freaking target, because my options for reloading ammo are starting to be, let's just say, not there. And this is the furthest I've ever gotten. Like on previous runs I haven't even managed to like reload my freaking ammo. But I mean, who knows, maybe this time this will do the charm. Yeah, you have to take down this fucking thing with a little shit that has poor controls. Or not poor controls, but like, that's, oh my fucking god, I did it. Let's just fucking skedaddle here. Oh Jesus, oh yeah, oh my fucking god, thank you, Jesus fucking Christ, love of the universe. Oh, I fucking did it, Jesus. Like the last time I tried this 6 times in a row and I felt like I was gonna have a fucking aneurysm from my blood pressure or something. Like, this mission fucking sucks. I don't know which is worse, this fucking mission or the fucking swamp level in Cruelty Squad, but yeah, either of these is like the top 2 worst missions I've ever played in any video game. Yeah, I don't. That's not an easy mission. I don't want anyone to think it's an easy mission. And thanks for the congratulations. Let's see, we should... Let's Vaskiset kielet, what an interesting name. I don't know, we got a new set of missions. Let's try one of these and see what happens. Let's roll with this. I wanna show this off. Like, I wouldn't necessarily go with this setup. I think it's a bit too slow for camo, and the secondary weapon is a bit not the worst, but the primary weapon is like one of my favorite heavy class weapons in the game. Oh boy, that's a lot of lead being pushed downwind. But thankfully it's just machine gun fire from little shits, unlike here, which we have a bit more substantial threat. Yeah, so the mission is just to kill 70% of the enemy garrison, and the enemy garrison size, or 70% of it, is 94, which is a lot of forces, especially if it's like sometimes when you fight against the loyalist forces you have like, oh no, they have a huge number of troops, haha, but then it's like half of them are like infantry, which is like not all that terrifying compared to everything else in this freaking game, and this is not going super well. And we are about to see why the optical camouflage does not work for this platform, because yeah, this is way too slow for the camouflage to be effective. It needs to be on something fast. And yeah, this is also not going very well. Oh no, we have like... Yep. I think I'll move on to show the freelance missions now. I think they are a bit more fun. But yeah, the campaign gets kinda difficult kinda fast. Or I don't even know about fast, this is like the 17th mission out of the like 21 originals. Then there's like additional ones which have come after like patches. This was kind of re-released as an improved version at some point because for some reason this had a really bad launch. I think people had difficulties with the controls. And there's maybe some other factors, like the aiming can be a bit tricky. The campaign especially like requires you to really keep your brains activated. It's certainly not for everyone. So how the freelance mode works: you pick a pilot, you get to read some interesting bits of lore. The pilots here are roughly ranked by how difficult their missions will be. This is kind of a strange system where you have a start difficulty, which is like the difficulty of the first mission in the run, and max difficulty, which is like to which difficulty will rise, determined by increase per level. Most pilots have some sort of victory bonus and a payout multiplier, except poor Norman Osberger, who has just flat difficulty of 1 and absolutely nothing, and he's a He's a sad boy. Anyway, I've only bought like a handful of pilots, but I have bought this Mr. Skellington here cause he has the max difficulty, and I wanted to see what kind of pain the max difficulty will offer. But let's pick some interesting dude and go crazy with it. Maybe I could just show off like what kind of pain the max difficulty can inflict upon a man. There's a world of options here. You can buy and pick vehicles from all the factions. But I think for a max difficulty mission we are gonna need something pretty substantial. We're gonna go with a really big tank. The question is... No, there is no question. We're gonna roll with a... You know how tanks have a big main cannon and then a machine gun. This tank has like a naval cannon and a huge fucking chain gun. And it has EMP grenades. Let's roll with the... Not random 2d6, just gonna show off this with the first strike. It has 2 consequences levels. Let's see what we'll run into. We might find a doable mission or two. We might find utter pain. But whatever we find, at least we have a big freaking tank to deal with it. And yeah, this tank is it's a hefty boy, it's a chunky boy. It's very slow, but it has also 800 hull points. It won't necessarily save me here, especially now that I have... Oh yeah, all the boys are here. Good thing we have the freaking EMP grenade. And come on, reload the main gun. Here we go. Yeah, this thing can take and dish punishment, which is good, because you just saw what happened. Hi mech. Oh, I missed. Oh, that's that big fella is bad news. Good thing we can just shut him down with the EMP. Yeah. This is how you made optimized builds in the game. Gonna need to loot some ammo real fast, because my main gun is kind of running dry. But yeah, with vehicles that are this low, I think the EMPs are the best possible panic button. Like stealth, smoke, completely freaking useless. EMP allows you to halt the enemies, has like the double good side of gluing down your enemies for your big cannon to hit. And especially if you wanna roll with artillery weapons, which I'll show at some point, you really want that EMP so the enemies won't just run away. And damn! The max difficulty ain't joking today. There's like 2 of those freaking huge Corvid mechs. They're called Rat Kings, which is that a Skaven reference? I don't know. I think the Rat Kings are like physically the biggest mech in the game. They have like also the highest pool of hit points. But they, like, their upper parts rotates, I think, only like 90 degrees, so they have like way more limited field of fire compared to a lot of other stuff in this game. But when you're like, I don't know, 1,000-ton walking war crime with 2 heavy weapons, I'm not sure how much you even need to rotate. I've rolled a couple of missions with it, and usually I just like freaking annihilate everything. It's like the weapons that you can deck into this tank but on a mech. So yeah. And here we have a wonderful, oh, that red flashing fella. He's carrying a spicy present, so he must go. Yeah, that's the awesome power of a naval cannon on a tank. One of my favorite weapons in the game, because it's really forgiving with my piss poor aiming. The only problem is that it has only like 10 ammo, which is not a lot. So you kinda have to be mindful so you don't run dry. Yeah. What can I say? It's a lot fun rolling with the... I don't know how heavy that tank is, it looks like insanely big. I don't think the game anywhere like says how heavy these vehicles are, but some of the biggest must be like several hundred tons at least. Yeah, that's a horde of enemies, but nothing the tank can't presently handle. Didn't even need to break out an EMP for that. The corvettes are like, they have just a couple of things which are individually like bad, and then they just have like these endless freaking borders of small shits. Like, they can be very dangerous, but they're like the least scary faction. You rarely get these like oh shit, oh no moments that you get like if you see like spacers have an artillery piece which shoots a munition that like turns into 25 submunitions, and it just absolutely annihilates you if you can't get out of the way. Loyalists have like a lot of nasty stuff, but spacers have also a lot of like individually nasty stuff. Corvettes mostly just have, they have a couple of those big vehicles, couple which are like not so big but dangerous and annoying on their own, and then they just like have this absolutely ginormous swarm of like every kind of freaking tractor, motorcycle, car you can imagine repurposed into some kind of military vehicle. It's a really fun and cool aesthetic. Some of the junk contraptions are kind of weird looking and kind of ugly, but the flying cars are really nice. I think some of the mechs are really nice, even though if they're just like stolen loyalist mech legs with a truck cockpit on the top. Or well, I don't know if it's a cockpit, what the heck is like... It's ohjaamo in Finnish, I don't know what it is. Is it like cabin? Like truck cabin? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, in freelance missions you have 3 objectives. Destroy 4 orbital cannons, or sometimes 3. Destroy all the enemy captains, which are like marked high value targets, usually riding in a vehicle that is a bit nastier compared to the other stuff around, and on max levels it means stuff like gigantic mechs or tanks, or a bit less gigantic mechs or tanks which are still pretty dangerous. Or then you just take out these guns. You can do all of these objectives. You can only do one and escape from the map. Sometimes you, on higher difficulties, or if you start getting damaged, you can't really do all the objectives. So there's a bit of an emergent factor too, which I think contributes to the fun. And kind of allows you to try these like, how would I say, you can try to make builds which are like built around, okay, I will only find these guns and destroy them, and then just like evade the enemies, like some small platform, give them a railgun or an artillery piece, or if you are feeling like an absolute mad lad, just like this tiny power suit with a, I don't know, a machine gun and a recoilless rifle, and just use stealth and speed and evasion and suffering to go through the game, or then you can just roll with this absolute battle beast and break everything. The smaller and more vulnerable your vehicle is, the bigger like payout modifier you get at the end of the mission. So if you complete a mission with what is basically like a taxi scooter with like 2 small guns strapped on it, you get like 5 times the money you would get from completing it with this like absolutely freaking hulking unit of a tank. So yeah, there would be like 3 enemies left. We're gonna not bother with that. We wrecked everything. We had some heated gamer moments, some hectic battles. But that's one level down. On this set there is another one. Time to rehydrate. Time to suck down some of that carbon dioxide and carbohydrates, and yeah, let's yeet into space. Sort of just trying to think what I should show after this. This is the worst possible spawn spot for this mission because this forms a really big like bottleneck which you can blow through only by making a lot of noise. So I think we have to kind of stand and fight, so let's stand and fight. I think this tank might be able to, well, it can pass through easily, but the noise is gonna be unreal. This annoying little shit making my life difficult. Come on. Yeah, we've started taking cool damage. This is not terribly good. It's good that we have a big tank that can take a lot of punishment, but I don't like how this mission like channels all the enemies towards this spot. If you spawn here, it makes life difficult. And I'm all out of freaking ammo. So we have to do this. Try to just kind of... Oh yeah, I'm so freaking dead here. Yeah, the max difficulty does not joke around. The last mission went really well because I had a good start, but this here, this is the true pain. This is suffering, this is punishment, this is hell. Yeah. And we're... Yep. Yeah, that's the max difficulty experience for you. Good thing our friend James here is already dead, so he don't care. Yeah. Yeah, James is a skeleton and it's never explained how he is around. He's just... I'm gonna try to conjure an annoying asshole voice to read this.
Few loyalists would even merit my attention if I were not charged with this task, but the precursor is the one man of which none will speak. My sources, usually helpful to the point of supplication when I offer the removal of some tawdry boil, defect or cancer from their dense and abhorrently muscled bodies, are completely unhelpful. Their atavistic stubbornness is a source of great vexation for me. I will find this man, even if he even exists. His very name causes men to bring all they have to bear to their defense. Such a terrifying warrior would make a fine asset indeed.
So yeah, his precursor James, he's dead. He suffers from eternal max difficulty. He's a mystery. So who is this Mr. MPCC? Well, he is Sephay Chatfield, who describes himself as I am a pilot of some small renown. Not only have I distinguished my family and crew due to my own exemplary service, but I have even deigned to fight and excel on planetary campaigns as well. A painful experience for all concerned, to be sure. Most find my reconnaissance and intelligence work distasteful, but time and again I have been proven right in my well-known maxim. Planet dwellers may be no better than animals, but even animals may do civilized things when properly studied and directed. Until we eliminate our few remaining ties to the hated soil, I will continue my reports. For an animal observed is an animal easily controlled. So yeah, he's a spacer, he's an asshole. He's some kind of intelligence officer who is now working for the Solo Nobre concern. And also a pilot. He has a bit easier difficulty progression. So how about we roll a mission with him? Not sure what we should go with. Let's heckin' go with a big spacer anti-gravity thingy. Not sure what weapons to pick. The second one is gonna be the Banshee, which is a chain gun, but the first one, not sure. Like the railgun or the laser would be fitting, but I think for some reason, like stat-wise this should be fine. But it doesn't ever like feel super good to use. So like this is a rocket pod, this can be fun, but I don't know if it is quite like doesn't necessarily quite cut it. I might go with Abbott. It's like if you imagine a tank gun, that's it. This is on the verge where I think active camouflage can be useful. I don't know. Let's see what we can do with this loadout. Like I think with some more agile, more helicopter-like vehicles or the flyers, anti-gravity units, the rocket pods and some kind of machine gun is really good, especially if you're playing on a bit lower difficulty. It feels like playing a helicopter. The rocket pods are really good. Like maybe my favorite out of the artillery class weapons, because they unlike the name perhaps implies, they fly directly, they have a nice splash radius. Not the highest damage, but they're very solid. And here we have, well, seems like I inadvertently drew in a lot of enemies there, but yeah. The Banshee chain gun is like one of my favorite weapons in the whole game. It's just like, just freaking look how it just dissolves enemies. I think I like it maybe even more than the heavy chain gun, because I think like in this game the main function of the machine gun type of enemies is to shoot down all those fast little enemies, and this is like almost a hit scan weapon. Like it's basically instant, so it's easy to track the enemies and shoot at them. With I think with every other machine gun weapons, it's like a distinct projectile that moves, well, not necessarily slowly. There's like one machine gun ammo type weapon which does have kind of a weird single shot slow action. I don't really like it. I think it's really weird. But all the other ones are like rapid fire weapons, but the projectiles do travel, so hitting fast targets can be a bit difficult even with machine gun weapons, but not with Banshee. Banshee just, yeah, it's a big delete button for small enemies. And the Abbot, which is like I said, a tank gun, is just like... It's similar to the big naval gun the previous unit had, but smaller, has a bigger ammo pool, so you can use it a bit more. You don't have to so much think, yeah, is this target worth the big shot? Will I have enough ammo to do the mission? And yeah, this flyer, it's called Vex, it's closer to like a hovering tank than a helicopter or an aeroplane or some kind of weird hover bike, which is basically the range of the flyers in this game. Anyway, an ammo pickup would be nice at this point. I think there was a... No, that's not the right type. That's not the right type either. Sad. Yeah. This is basically a flying tank. I think it's a solid build. The Loyalists have a somewhat similar thing. Or unit. It's even... but it has like double heavy slots, but it's also, I think... It's slower, doesn't turn as well, but it's also kind of fun. Sorry. The Corvettes have another a bit similar one. I think it also has double heavies and it like... I think it had like... It had decent speed, but it turned like shit. The Corvettes have a couple of vehicles which are like... Yeah, this thing goes forward really well, but doesn't turn all that great. And boy, yeah, I do really need that ammo. Yeah, the downside of an awesome rapid fire weapon is also that the ammo pool management is a challenge of its own. It's with all weapons, but the Banshee has just this indistinct, weird bullet beam that eradicates things. And I haven't had any need for the active camouflage. The Corvettes aren't very scary at this level. With spacers at this difficulty, at 7 to like 10, I'd say, you'd start to have stuff which like would warrant running away and taking better positions, and of course if you get like an overwhelming mob of enemies, it's always smart to run away, but these have been pretty manageable for considering like how much heat and shields and hull this thing is packing. Everything has been very manageable so far. Oh, that's a big cluster of enemies. I think an EMP would have been better for this, would have like nailed down targets a bit better. But it's not the worst build. It's actually really good, I think. The Abbot is like kind of the big main cannon. It's a bit boring weapon because it's like such as the... Oh yeah, this is literal tank cannon, but it's also super functional because it's a literal tank cannon, and these main cannon chain gun loads are like very good. It's when you want to make something really weird when it starts to get more tricky. I think I'm gonna like show off some absolutely deranged junk pile build next, and after that I might show I'm gonna show something smaller and faster. Yeah, that's one mission down with full shields, full hull, not full ammo, but more than enough ammo. Yeah, Mr. Chatfield here talks mad shit, but at least he can back his words up. This pilot of some small renown. Are you winning, son? Yeah, so far. I've actually had a lot of lost battles during this. Oh yeah, it's this bullshit start again. Yeah. This situation here. I want it gone. Also want this thing gone. Yeah, this entry on this map is like, it's pain. You either break this fence and make a lot of noise, or you go in through like a single gate and you probably make noise because there are most likely enemies around. You most likely experience pain and suffering unless you get one of the better starts here. Sometimes it's manageable. As we saw last time, it's not always manageable, and this is not looking super good for me. Yeah. I would really love to make a hole here without making too much freaking noise, but that is not easy. And I don't wanna hang around here too much, cause yeah, we have a welcoming committee here. We have a fairly big chunk of enemies on this mission, and they're loyalists, so they're not like just random chunk piles, but like actual military hardware, and at this level of difficulty, like actually, let's say, oh fuck me. Yeah, that's not good. Oh fuck, I didn't know that these already spawn at this level. Bye. Yeah, that's called a Leviathan. It's like the biggest tank in the game, and it's nasty. Yeah, this is turning to be kind of an annoying seesaw, but bear with me. Yeah, give me those shields. Blow those gas stations up, it will draw in some enemies. Yeah, sometimes in this game you kinda have to make your own entrances, but it's part of the fun. There's also directional damage in this game, so you can and you want to do ass shots to enemies. And you don't want to get hit by slow race when there's a really big nasty enemy around. This is a really unfortunate roadblock. I guess, I mean, it can be avoided now that I've... Oh fuck me, those are so... Yeah, these things. They're ugly. They have a high explosive shotgun basically for weapon. Extremely dangerous. Very annoying to hit because they are like flyers. Not fun. Yeah. Like the difficulty went up 1 point, but now that I'm facing loyalists and they have like actual military hardware of concern, I'm playing much more carefully. If you get like too cocky in this game, you die instantly. As you've already seen. Fuck me. Yeah, I'm out of here. That's a really, really nasty collection of enemies. There's like, oh, what the heck? Because there's like that Leviathan, there's that big gun tank, and then there's like one of those annoying little shits, and with loyalists they have like this beam weapon that doesn't do damage but slows you down. That's a really, really nasty combination of enemies to deal with, like... Something that isn't like a big mecha that can take out those things in like straight up combat. But yeah, I really should pop some enemy which would give me shields, because otherwise I'm gonna have a bad time. I have a hard time currently destroying mission objective targets, which would be like the usual get out of nasty situation button here. Oh my god, that's so nasty. Gosh, oh, come on. Yeah. Oh. This is a really nasty selection of enemies. Like really nasty. Like I think this is a difficulty 8, and this is like one of the hardest possible like enemy rosters for difficulty 8, I think. Man, I've taken some hull damage, I have no shields, and there's the fucking compensation mobile. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think I shot it in the back like 4 times and it finally went down. Yeah, now I can... Yeah, this sector is cleared. Except, yeah, that's... I need to like ambush that mecha. I need to get here, pop the shields, get behind it. And yeah, it wasn't terribly... I took some damage doing that. We need to fulfill one objective and then just immediately eat out of this spaceport. This is not going too well for me. It's not yet disastrously bad, but it's about to be. Now I need to locate and take down the last orbital cannon, and I think then I can yeet out. Yeah. This thing is kind of like a flying tank, but it can't take the same kind of beating as the really heavy enemies or well vehicles in the game can. No idea what is that thing's loadout. Oh, that's a nasty. Yeah, that's fucking nasty. Oh man. I am in pain. I have honestly no idea if I can make it, if I can like find the last... Oh shit, there's one another one of those really big enemies. Damn it, I don't really remember. I've played this map like several times. You eventually start remembering like stuff here, but I can't remember like where's the last orbital cannon here. Thankfully I popped one of those shield trucks and now I at least have some shields and more ammo, but I have to be super careful. This is like a really super hard enemy roster for like this relatively low, well, 8 out of 13 difficulty. And like with a map that has like, if you spawn here, a really tight and annoying like choke point. Oh, Jesus Christ. Man, I am in pain. This is not a friendly selection of enemies. Like this is like day and night compared to the freaking last mission. And at least that one went down pretty well. Oh, we fulfilled one of the mission objectives. We are getting the shit out of here. Yeah, we managed to take down 70% of the enemy forces, and that allowed us to leave. That was really unusually hard, like, selection of enemies for difficulty 8 level, but we survived. Yeah, Mr. Chatfield here has earned shit talking right still forever. Yeah, they've sure thought out about providing gameplay with depth. This has like a lot of depth. This has a lot of different play styles, and how would I say? The developers said in one video that they wanted to make a game with a very high skill ceiling, and yeah, they've definitely done that. Like, this is really enjoyable to play. What I have problem with is like the presentation or the way it's structured is a bit odd, but this is like, I've been playing this a lot for the past 2 weeks. I just kind of fire this up and play for 30 minutes and then do something else and then come back to it. Anyway, let's find a suitable pilot. We're gonna do something crazy next. Maintenance man, groundskeeper at the Nobre Country Club, mutters continuously to himself. He hates the suburbs but loves golf. Questionable grip on reality. But he has only one difficulty of 1. I need someone who can like pilot some crazy shit. Like, everybody can pilot everything, but I need someone who's like at home piloting crazy shit. Yeah, this guy. He's I can't read out his description out loud on YouTube. There's a yeah. This guy is also really weird. I think this might not work. I feel like his missions just get more difficult, but he's like... He starts at difficulty 9 and missions are at least supposed to get easier for him, but he has really piss poor payout multiplier, but he has like a flat bonus. I don't know what is the deal with this guy, but he's apparently a horrible writer that has ended up here, so with some good conscience we can roll with some absolutely insane build here. Let's this seems the guy who like would think war crimes are funny, so let's go with this chemical launcher, and I also think he thinks that high explosive shotgun is really funny. I think I'm gonna go with the audio kinetic pulse. I haven't shown that it's good for these slow bruiser builds because it allows you to blow up small shits and like object like terrain cover buildings without using ammo. So let's roll with another set and see how this goes. So yeah, this is a junk part that has a chemical missile, well, not a missile, chemical grenade launcher and a cannon that is more like a explosive shotgun. Explosive shotgun at the scale of an 88mm cannon. And this is slow, but yeah, hi. Hello, bye. Bye, bye, and especially bye to you. Also bye to you. Yeah, Johnny here doesn't care about alarms. All he cares about is breaking shit up. That might end up poorly for him, it might end up great for him, we shall see. This build is just... It doesn't care about things like reason, humanity. This is a build which you roll when you want to dehumanize yourself and face the bloodshed. Yeah, chemical weapons on Solo Nobre are so dank that they just melt buildings too. Johnny's gonna need an ammo reload soon though. But yeah, this thing basically couple 100-ton war crime on wheels. Or well, not wheels, treads. I also think this would just topple over. I really hope nobody tries to build the vehicles in this game for the meme value, cause like it's not gonna end up well. Someone's gonna end up dead. Oh, I forgot that we didn't have an EMP way of the... No, fuck you, boo. Fuck everything, fuck you in particular. Oh, I fucking drove straight to a artillery munition. Yeah, this build, it can't evade. I have a bit of a bad feeling that I may have screwed myself over, but... Also... Oh no. Yeah, the last thing I needed was a railgun equipped flying tank, but we survived. We might survive the next mission. We'll see. Yes, give me your shields, I will assimilate your shields and ammunition into my devastation machine. Yeah, I mean this build is crazy. And it kind of works. We fulfilled an objective, let's go. Well, we still have some more. I don't know who left in this pile of junk. Oh yeah, I need those freaking shield units right now. Also gonna need to stock up on some ammo. All out of ammo for the secondary weapon. Did we have the ammo depot for the primary weapon, which is a chemical launcher? Yeah, it's still up and it still has ammo. Yeah, I don't think Johnny can do all the 3 missions. I think we are gonna hit the spaceport and just try to yeet the fuck out. We took more than half of hull damage, and even if this is like a rather sturdy thing, that's still a fair bit. The chemical launcher is kinda inconvenient to use at times because it does like damage over time. But it's different. And let's get to the Estrella Verde spaceport. Yes, this is the map that is one of those maps that has one single choke point, but good thing Johnny here can just make his own choke points. Just gonna clear out that a bit. Yes. It's the corvids that I'm facing, which means a lot of little vehicles buzzing around. I'm doing this because I don't wanna be knocking down walls when I have to escape from that area. Well, I don't know how much escaping you can do with this thing anyway, but it's better to have some openings than to have your back against the wall. And yes, here's the ammo refill station for... I don't know what the type of ammo is called. Cannon ammo. Just doing some openings to the walls, just taking this down. There's a couple of other pieces of infrastructure I might just ram down when I get there. You wanna be annoying, eh? Though the spotter units I took the comm tower, so I don't think they can actually, even if they see me as they do, very hard not to see this thing. They can't raise the alarms. And now when I take down these power substations, even if they raise the alarms, they wouldn't raise the panic walls. The alarm mechanics works kinda like it makes a lot of noise, enemies will come after you. Certain areas will have these so-called panic walls raise up, and they can block objectives or places where you need to go to escape. And that opens the combat here. Let's let's just salt the crops here. Yeah. Bet Johnny is so fucking hyped about this all right now. This is actually a pretty fun build. I've run with something similar a couple of times, like the 88, the weird explosive shotgun has like just enough ammo to make it like a viable secondary. The chemical launcher has a really big ammo pool for whatever reason, I don't know why. Probably because it, well, allows you to have a lot of fun with it. Maybe this struggles a bit against these little shits. I wouldn't necessarily say struggle, but dealing with them requires some judicious use of the audio kinetic pools. Okay, let's put some distance here. Let's put some walls between us before this becomes unmanageable. Oh fuck, I'm out of ammo for the 88. Come on. Freaking die and allow me to loot you, and then... Yeah, when I say it like just has enough ammo to be a viable secondary weapon, I mean I should spend more time watching my ammo counter and less talking, but that wouldn't be much of a stream now, would it? And we've almost taken 80% of the enemy forces down, so... Yeah, let's take the remaining couple enemies till the limit and then just yeet out. was kinda aiming to just destroy the structures because the chemical launcher is good for that, but I'm not complaining. This is fine too. This is more than fine. This is yeah, this is quite something, isn't it? But there's an even crazier artillery piece in this game and I wanna show it off. I'm just kind of trying to think. It's crazy, it's inconvenient to use. Just trying to think of a build that could like almost nearly borderline reasonably wield it and do something with it. We are running a bit dry on ammo, but that's no concern. Well, not a big concern, cause we'll just find the last turret to spray. There's also a smaller version of the chemical launcher in the game and it's called Chuffer, which I think is really funny. Some of the weapons are like in the lore implied to be like weapons that existed in or existed like some of the weapons are implied to be real world weapons. And some of them are actually quite old by now, like there's a weapon in the game which is implied to be the M2 Browning machine gun, which is like, well, it's relatively old. There's like the Shrike 57 rocket bodies in the game, and there's a couple ones which are like sort of implied to be based on real life weapons, which are really old. And the lore kind of lets you think that, or implies that space exploration and colonization have been going on much longer than in real life, because like the Bulldog, which is actually the Shrike 57 rocket pod, it's like described, this is almost as old as the colonies are, and the Shrike, I think it's like from 60s or 70s, so it's implied in this game that space exploration got underway like much earlier and much stronger than it did in real life. I'm just gonna quickly check the clock. I think this is a good moment to take a short pause. I'll be back. I'll demonstrate a couple more builds. Let's see what we'll find. Let's check the chat. Canister shot is a rare but extant form of ammo for 120mm tank guns. Yes, that's true. Anyway, there is one other crazy weapon I wanna show, but I'm trying to think of like what would be a more or less reasonable thing to show it off with. Well, I don't know if this is reasonable, but I'm gonna just roll with Johnny, cause Johnny is Johnny. This is gonna need a very good secondary. Yeah, I might go with this one. I'm gonna take the EMP grenade if I want to make any use of this artillery piece, cause I need the enemies sitting down or ambushed. I'm just gonna play one random district. I don't care if I live or die. I just wanna show off this weapon, cause this is like, you know how in old real-time strategy games you had like these super weapons. Well, this is like, in one of those games this would have been like a super weapon, and here you can just strap it onto anything that can carry a heavy slot. But let's just say it's a bit unwieldy to use, let's just say that. Let's see if we can find some nice cluster of enemies we can jump on, or some piece of... Okay, here's a perfect piece of infrastructure to demonstrate this thing on. Let's go! And... yeah! Perfectly reasonable, perfectly balanced. Those are little suicide drones. They are no longer little suicide drones, they are scrap heaps. Yeah, this weapon is insane, but it's also really slow, and you don't wanna be wasting this thing. The ammo count is not the most unforgiving, but not the most forgiving one either. I have these fucking things on my ass. It's also insanely loud, so like basically every single freaking enemy in the map will know where you are. So you want something that can fire it off but move away from it. This isn't really something you strap to a tank, or big tank, or like a mech. This is like freaking beyond reason in any way. This gun, well, it's not even a, I don't know if you can even call it a gun. But gun makes me always think of like, I don't know, a pistol. Wow, that was a pretty nice shot without like moving enemies. I think I'm getting better at my ballistics game. And the secondary is a laser weapon called Chieftain, which is like a... It hits really hard, has decent ammo pool, is rapid fire, but it rapidly loses accuracy, so you have to kind of use it in short bursts. Well, short controlled bursts, just like they said in Aliens. Just look at this. It's beautiful. It's like completely unreasonable and crazy, but it's beautiful. I love this game. I just freaking love this game. There's also a weapon which is a bit like a mini version of this, and it's like a rapid fire mortar. It's described as a Gatling mortar. It's I think it fires like this burst of 10 shots, but it's also like it's more than enough for most things. This is like beyond more than enough. This is like sheer madness. I'm not sure if there's like anything in the game that can survive intact if they hit, like are in the middle of the explosion. Yeah, you go sleep. Well, I think it's a bit late for the alarms, but maybe not. I have to scoot. at least until I reload my EMPs. Well, that didn't do much, but we just need to reload our shields a bit. I think we're doing... Fuck me. I was gonna say that we're doing decent, but... Yes, that was really good. It was very, very good. Oh, that could have gone so badly for us, but no. That shot landed really well. Yeah, not the 100% perfect shot, but let's see. Yeah, 3 big enemy mechs down with 1 shot. Extremely powerful. Come on. And the chieftain makes a nice secondary. It has like almost machine gun like ammo pool. If you keep grabbing reloads from enemies, it has really high damage for such a rapid fire, high ammo pool weapon. But you can't just like hold the fire key down, or it will the accuracy will go down like super fast to the point where it's not hitting literally anything. But yeah, this is like one of my favorite weapons in the whole game, this laser gun. Yeah, if you wanna play a game with some crazy ass firepower, I really suggest this. Another building down, haha. Just freaking look at that. Like if that was in Command & Conquer Generals, it'd be a buildable super weapon, but no. You can strap it into some flying pile of crap built by a bunch of rebels. Haha, no, you can't just use a huge artillery piece to take one down on communications tower, no, haha. No! Yeah. Let's go take down that orbital cannon, and after that... Oh. Well... Usually 1 shot is more than enough, but I guess I slightly missed. Yeah, all the enemies are dead. Or well, all but 1. Let's just get a nice payment bonus and do some urban restructuring here. Artillery weapons kind of like, if you move backwards their arc gets smaller, and if you move forwards their arc gets larger. You can kind of like, if you wanna do some weird stunt you can shoot off screen, but well, takes considerable practice for perhaps not quite guaranteed results. You know how some people like popping bubble wrap? This is like the video game equivalent of that. Just don't think too hard on all the innocent lives you are wrecking for a greedy mining corporation. I know Johnny here doesn't care. Oh, and there's the last enemy. Ah, yeah, this is that map which has like that weird golden off area that's with those indestructible high grey walls. Johnny 5 AC is expert in urban reconstruction. Yeah, now Johnny is happily gonna scoot off into space. Yeah. No, you can't just use your superior firepower indiscriminately. Haha, gun go boom, indeed. Let's try something else. What should we roll with? We have Mr. Marvin Beck here, who is described as a disgruntled vehicle specialist with an encyclopedic knowledge of Solo Nobre tech and even strong grasp on spacer capabilities. Beck has few other interests and no known personal relationships. Rumored to be literally a mech fetishist. His appraisal of opposition technology shows an admiration which suggests unstable loyalties. He may be willing to abandon the military simply for the opportunity to study new technology up close. Well then. Sounds like quite the lad, doesn't he? I've already kinda showed off the mechs. I wanna... maybe just grab a new pilot. I have more than enough money in the game. Who is Doc Ballhard? A highly decorated pilot with training in mechs, tanks and anti-grav. Also a fraud. After double-crossing a Solo Nobre black marketer, he killed a young conscript and replaced him with the help of advanced plastic surgery. That surgeon happens to be a former associate of mine. Holding the threat of exposure over Ballhard will be enough to make him do what we want, no matter how dismal his odds will be. Well then. I think we've seen the least of anti-gravity, so... How about some pain? Do we have yeah, auxiliary weapons are like... I always have difficulties like finding actually really good weapons here. Like the Galinha is the one that I roll the most often with. Pitbull is the rocket pod. This is kind of like a weird gimped attack plane. It might be fun, it might be horrible, we might die soon. Let's find out. I also think that that's a cool design. Yeah, this thing, it goes fast, which is good because it can't take damage at all. Well, okay, it can take some, but it's weak. It's very weak. Yeah, which will win? Strike 57 rocket pod or advanced anti-gravity and mech tech? Damn, the Soviets would be proud to see this. The Shrike was like a... I don't think the Soviets called it that. I think it was like a NATO designation for some Soviet helicopter-mounted rocket pod, and this is it in the game. I think the some of the calibers of the weapons feel a bit low for the explosions there it causes, but I suppose like the art of explosives has evolved over the past 100 years, and I almost suicided by blowing something up next to me. Well, that's what you get when you don't focus in on the game. Let's just go in a blaze of glory and try again. This time with less self-explosions. But yeah, the rocket pod is really nice main weapon for these builds which are like not the lightest of the light, not kind of like that they have the slot that can take the rocket pod and like a secondary which is more like a machine gun roll, or perhaps like the rocket pod can even act as a secondary because it has such a big ammo pool. It's good for like chewing up smaller targets. What I'm using as a secondary is like it's described as a small rapid fire, like a rail gun. It's called galinha, which apparently like means goose in Portuguese. Some of the weapon names are like in Portuguese because like that's the language of Novo Solo, and the ultra dangerous chemical shit it's called. Oh no, that's a gas line, I don't wanna hit that. That's not the name of the chemical. The chemical, I don't know how to pronounce it because it has like accented weird A letter, I don't know how to pronounce, but it's like turabao, which apparently means shark in Portuguese, and yeah, I guess it's a decent name for a chemical mixture that's basically chews through anything. Come on, man. I would have kind of preferred an automatic secondary, but both of the like machine gun analogs on the auxiliary slot are they're both like they have a fixed burst, kinda slow ammo. They're a bit difficult to use. I'm not a huge fan of them. Especially the 3 burst one, which I think is the belter. I can't remember the names of the weapons. I don't use all that much. I find it kind of difficult to use. I'm not a huge fan of it. So something which would have like 2 main slots, or maybe like a heavy and main. Well, I don't know, that would be like a heavier one. Like I think even the small machine gun, which is called, well, there's 2, bone saw and lockdown. The bone saw is a normal small machine gun. The lockdown is weird spacer tech that shoots stuff that somehow burns out shields really fast but doesn't do much other damage. It's really niche weapon in my opinion. I think even the lockdown is kind of better in some ways than the aux machine guns, but I don't know, I could just be... maybe I should just get good. I think the other one of them has like a 7-round fixed burst, and it's like... it's better, but the problem with that, it's like... you don't have all that much control over it. But there's like a couple of flyers which you can fit as the rocket pod and a second automatic like weapon. Oh shit. Oh yeah, those are like excavators I kept running and they like apparently explode. Okay, so I blew up my shields. Didn't completely KMS myself this time, but you should go down and I should get these. Yeah. Flying with a little flying shit like this really puts the fear of machine guns into you because you are so fragile. But this run has been going decent. Oh crap. This is a bit difficult to control at times though because it's so fast, but the turning rate is a... well, it's not the worst. The turning rate is a tiny bit slow, but it's not the worst I've seen on a flyer. Like the Corvettes have something called the Duke, which is a crazy car contraption, and it has insane like forwards and backwards movement, but really slow turning rate and strafes really poorly. It's a interesting experience to play. It has I think a kind of decent weapon loadout though. There really isn't a perfect vehicle in this game, I feel, all have some compromise of like, if they have heavy weapons they are slow, if they are like every vehicle has some weakness, they either like are maybe a bit undergunned if, or then they don't handle too well. They might have like weird turning characteristics. There's like this kind of like a lot of non-obvious factors which also impact like the performance of the vehicles, and you just kind of have to play with them to get the feel for them. Also, sometimes in this game figuring out which terrain is blocking your shots and which is not can be kind of difficult, and well, it's another git good thing, and especially with the flyers or like really high targets. I think I've like said this. Sometimes the arc is like, it feels a bit wonky, like it feels like you're not hitting where you're supposed to, but I think it's mostly just like the way the weapon arcs work in the game. Like especially with these, a lot of flyers, some mechs, some tanks have like these just side-mounted weapons, and they don't really point forward, they point a bit to the side. So sometimes you're just looking forward and you're like, why aren't my shots landing when you should be like shooting just a bit off. Yeah, that was that mission. He's had plastic surgery before, they can just tape him together. Being blown up, no biggie. Yeah, absolutely not. Somehow these guys just keep coming back. It's not explained anyway, but maybe, I don't know. The spacers at least have some kind of gas station bath technology, so maybe the Solo Nobre concern has like spacers just cooking up endless clones of like possible pilots, and we are doing an assault here. Yeah, that went pretty well. Yeah, that's not a such hot idea to be around. Fuck. Oh no. Yeah, I was about to go straight from the frying pan into the fire. This map is kinda annoying. The layout has like all the ammo depots are concentrated at one area. That's a lot of scouts. Good thing they're only scouts, and that's a bit too many enemies for my taste. Let's just they raised the alarm anyway. Oof. This isn't really good. This is a really big open area. There's a lot of enemies. There's a lot of enemies around. I don't have very much ammo. I haven't managed to clear out a safe zone for myself. Come on now, fucking die already, Jesus. Yeah, this mission might be gone to the fucks already. Or not, we'll see. I'm gonna try not to be a pessimist here, but this is not the optimal area for this kind of build. You'd really need to have and use some cover. Well, at least we get to reload. Yeah, once again, like, it felt like I should have been hitting that one thing, but I wasn't. But of course, the ballistics modeling does not consult my feelings, but I'm not the first person to say that sometimes the aiming feels off in this game. And a lot of people have like criticized the controls, but I think it's like the challenge of like you don't have like the kind of like the third person view, the outside view to the events. You have to kind of juggle the position of your vehicle, aiming all that once, and you're not like in a cockpit, you're just kind of looking at it from an outside perspective. I think it's kind of that mixed with the fact that there's a lot of vehicles which control a bit like stiffly because they're like, I don't know, battle mechs that are the size of like a apartment block, which you'd kind of maybe expect to control a bit stiffly. Like, maybe if this had been marketed as a tank game, I think people may have been a bit more receptive, because they would have rolled with like some tank and been like, okay, it has tank controls, but this is a tank game. Okay, this plays like this. I don't know. But the devs like said that a lot of people went in the game with the assumption that this was like kind of arcade, fast-paced, twin-stick shooter, and yeah, this is not that in the slightest, and we're kind of disappointed because of that. Because they had like with kind of some retro games like platformers or Metroidvanias or like, well, shooters, you have like maybe a bit like more recent examples of that kind of style, but for like the strike type of games there haven't been any of those for like in 20 years, and I suppose it's like, yeah, people really don't know these games. They weren't like as popular as Doom or Quake was in the back of the day. They weren't as popular as Super Metroid was. So it's this is a very old school game from a very niche genre. So the marketing side of things was apparently they didn't really succeed in it, or felt that like it didn't work out, and that people had, oh no, wrong expectations and were upset about it, while that they just kind of didn't manage to communicate what this game was about. And you can kind of, this has the new version, the Up Armored Edition has a control scheme that's by default a bit like a twin stick shooter, but I think the tank controls play better because, well, you are driving around in literal tanks. The map relative controls, which I think are the twin stick type, it just constantly resulted in like turning around being really hard. I was constantly going like ass forward into combat with tanks, which is like, you don't wanna do that. So I switched to the tank controls, and this game does play a lot better with them, I think. Or kind of like, you have to educate yourself to these controls, but once you do, the game plays really nicely. I have sometimes difficulties with the flyers. Well, maybe not anymore, but for a really long time, like, it felt like no matter what I freaking did, like, the flyers would always dodge to the wrong direction, and even now I just, I don't know, maybe I've like finally drilled it to myself, or then I'm just like, I'm no longer paying attention to all the cases when the flyer turns to left and I wanna go it to right. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna go after the captains. That this is been a rather challenging map. This is nice for some builds and very challenging for others. Same goes for absolutely every map. Like there's not a lot of maps where like, well, okay, some super open maps are also bad for like the really big mechs and tanks, cause like you are out in the open and you are really slow. But I think the worst for like those really big vehicles is that one map where there's like an absolute shit ton of explosive hazards, and it's just so easy to like walk into a gas line or ram into a gas line and blow up yourself and like quarter of a city block with it. Yeah, this is the third map of this run. I've been thinking that this has some freelance like map collections which are like 10, 18 or 39 maps, and I've been thinking that I could maybe try one of those longer runs as a separate kind of stream thing, but don't know yet. I feel like I'm at the point where I think I'll probably try to wrap up the campaign and then maybe find something else to play for a while so I don't get too burned out on this. There's certainly like stuff I haven't yet tried out in the game. Lots of things I could do. But there's also a lot of other games I would like to try, so we'll see what I'll do. Oh, there was... Yeah, I didn't know if you guys noticed, but the enemy had an exact same chassis out there against me. Yeah. Just casually shooting my own bros because a mega corporation is extorting me. Just Brigador things. Let's pop that, grab that, and then flee. And always remember, when you do the hit and run, remember to also do the run and not just hitting, because that's a good way to die. Let's blow some holes. Yeah, that was much needed. Let's draw the enemies there and then go in at the other direction. Does Brigador count as an immersive sim because you can do stealth in it? Yeah, probably not, but it's kinda fun to think that, yeah, this has stealth game elements in it. This is probably a more well-rounded stealth system than, well, I don't know, a whole lot of other games. Yeah, I don't wanna get caught into here. But thankfully didn't take too much damage. Not too much damage. Didn't waste too much ammo. We've taken 3 out of 4 captains. Yeah, I love the rocket pod, it's really good. It's like an explosive machine gun almost. Of course you have to do some ammo supply management with this, but that's the same for basically every freaking weapon in this game, so yeah. Cause a ruckus. See if we can draw some enemies in here and then go in other way. That was cruel of me. Oh no. Yeah, I... Fuck me, I'm out of here. Yeah, those things are called kettles. You can actually, if you want, you can buy them and fly them yourselves. I haven't done it yet, so, but... Yeah, they got the 88 equipped and... They're hard to hit because they're flyers, they are relatively tough because they are big flyers. And what can I say? They have an annoying explosive shotgun. Okay, I have no business going in there, though I would kind of like to have the ammunition. Gotta use the secondary a bit more. Oh no. Someone spotted me, what the heck? Oh, crap. I also gotta say that the soundtrack of this game is really good, but it's pretty loud by default. I think I've already said that, yeah. They really wanted to showcase it, but I think it's just a tiny bit too loud, I think, for gameplay enjoyment. Ah, the freaking Suicide Star torpedo got friendly fired. That was a beautiful sight. Just a beautiful, beautiful sight. I think this game would be really fun if it had like co-op multiplayer in it. Of course it would like probably be the many friendships would die in friendly fire, but well. I think that could be part of the fun, maybe perhaps even. You can just be still for 2 more seconds. Oh crap. I don't wanna be there. I think I blew up the ammo supply depot that gives out the purple artillery ammo, so yeah. And the rocket pod uses purple ammo. Pretty stiff resistance here. Not one of those loyalist spawns where they have like half of their forces in infantry. Well, they apparently do have infantry. So yeah, a lot of the gameplay loop is kind of like finding places where you can enter a territory or making them, taking down isolated pockets of enemies, running away from trouble when it becomes too serious. And I think it's fun to play the really heavy stuff, but they can also be like somewhat inconvenient to play, because if they like get cornered or overwhelmed, then they can't really easily escape. There's like some flyers, certain tanks, some mechs that have like this really good feeling of having enough speed to make an escape, but enough firepower to do damage, which is like everything perfectly balanced, just as it should be. Ah, yes. I want to touch the ammo crate. Split splat. Well, that one went down relatively painlessly. I fulfilled the one objective. I could be just making my escape, but I wanna try taking down the orbital guns. Should be doable. The enemy forces are kind of running dry, I think. Man, they've had a lot of these freaking flying tanks in this map. And freaking another. Like, that's... What the heck, man? That's a lot. That's been a really big amount of kettles for one map. Wait, where's the last gun? I haven't taken down it. Yeah, after that power suit. Yeah. Yeah, now we can leave. Oh, hello. The rest is largely infantry. We can ignore them or ground pound them or just like... Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. You can play the game with a little flyer. It just turns it into a game of maneuver and stealth. Dealing with enemies one by one is often considered cheesing, but that's not true. As the old saying goes, if you find yourself in a fair fight, you're doing something wrong. That is very true for this game. I think I'm gonna do just something weird, something crazy, something quick. And then I'll end the stream. But what the heck could it be? What could it be? Oh, I know. Yeah. Do I wanna do this? I wanna do this. I want to inflict and suffer pain. Yeah. Man, I don't even know what the freaking secondaries would fit this little piece of crap. Oh boy. Like, my mind is saying stealth, but I don't know, let's go with this. Let's just play one district. 15 health, 15 shields. I'm gonna die in a second. Then I can do something else. But I haven't played with this freaking scooter before, so... Yeah. Oh, it can't pass through obstacles. So cute. Kawaii. Well, it can go fast. It can go fast all the time. Okay, so this is how you play it. What the freaking heck is the audio kinetic pulse on this thing? Can you just... Can you imagine this freaking... I don't know what the heck is that, like, freaking scooter has such a big subwoofer, it blows down a freaking city block. Oh my god, this is... Okay, I should be thinking of objectives. Oh my god, I just... No, this is not... This is unreal, this is not happening. Oh my god, oh god. Oh Jesus. Like, oh my god, I haven't yet died with this thing. Like, this has an infinite speed boost, basically. Oh no, oh no, no. Don't be freaking cornered. Like, now I'm even afraid of the freaking little soldiers. Like, this is just madness. No, haha. Okay. Oh my god. I can't... My mind is shutting down. Like, this is peak freaking Brigador. Yeah, forget the freaking mechs. Forget everything else. This is how you play this game. Guys, I can't process what's happening. I literally cannot process what's going on. I'm freaking killing mechs with a scooter which has like a... It has a rocket-propelled grenade launcher and this energy weapon which is just described as a cancer beam. Like, it's said that even if you own the weapon you get a war crimes charge for it. And that's in the world of Brigador where, like... Yeah... I can't believe I'm actually fucking doing this. No, don't get fucking stuck. Oh no. This is so fast that it's difficult to control. I'm like constantly getting like... But if you got... The normal speed is so low, you have to be constantly using the speed boost. So you have to kind of use it in a rhythm, I guess. Like, I don't freaking know. You are not supposed to... Don't drive freaking scooters in a war zone. Just don't do this. This is freaking peak video gaming. This is insane. This is literally crazy. Like, did you see that this freaking scooter took down a freaking big ass tank by shooting it in the ass with a rocket launcher? Approach quietly for a stealthy takedown. Like a rocket launcher and a super cancer beam. And I'm not dead. I've destroyed 3 out of 4 structures. Guys, I think I might actually be able to pull off this mission. Maybe. There's like a lot of garrison forces still left. This thing controls like shit. Well, okay, I don't know, it's really weird controls, like, I don't freaking know how to describe it. Normal speed is slow, then you have this infinite regenerating speed burst, which is like really difficult to control. God, Jesus, this is... Wow. Hey, let's assassinate that thing with the cancer ray, because the cancer ray goes through walls. And is completely silent. Man, this is video gaming. This is pod racing. This is literal pod racing. Okay, I think there are some vehicles which are closer to literal pod racers, but... Man, this is fucking pod racing. They almost died there. That's the last freaking gun. I can fucking do this. I can complete the mission. I can complete the fucking mission with a moped. If I survive alive out of this one, this is such a good ending to the stream. Like, this shouldn't be humanly possible. Like, the difficulty is only 2. There's no fucking way anyone is playing against max difficulty foes with this thing. Okay, there probably are, but yeah. Holy shit. Wow. You get an achievement for finishing a mission with this freaking thing. Yeah, okay. Wow. Man. That was video gaming. Yeah, I think I'm kind of done for the evening. Recoilless rifle Vespa Reborn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh my god. Thank you for reminding me that that thing existed. But the recoilless Vespa didn't have a freaking cancer beam on it. Just look at it, it's just so tiny. It has like 3 wheels. Like, oh my god. Yeah, and on the first try, but I was just like so amped up and paranoid and super careful. Cause like, it's easy to get really cocky when you're in a tank or a big mech or like even a attack plane like flyer, but when you're in a freaking 3-wheeled scooter, man, that's an entirely different story. Yeah, anyway, I think this stream is pushing closer to like 3 hours, 4 hours, I don't know. I've been playing this for a quite while now, so I think I'll end the stream here for tonight. And oh wow, my panel was saying connection lost. Well, that's great. Let's see. Well, yeah, I installed the Streamlabs thingy on my phone so I could remotely use it, but now it's saying just like connection lost, so guess I'm terminating the stream the old way. But yeah, thanks for coming in. I think I'll next stream Cruelty Squad sometime next week, perhaps maybe after that. Maybe some more Brigador, maybe a longer run with some crazy build, fun build. We'll see. Thanks to everyone who joined in. Maybe one day I will learn how to stream properly without all these technical hiccups.